What's up, Thumpers? Welcome back to another episode of Hyper Heroes here on Hyper Rabbit Power Go.
I'm back. I'm back,
Welcome
bitches.
back. Welcome back.
I'm back, bitches.
Augustine's back, bitches.
Just like in Titans. I'm back, bitches.
He said it again.
I
He said it
know.
again.
I know. He said
Every
it again.
episode he's going to say that.
Dr. Light, I'm the Titan. It's back, bitch. Okay, buddy.
Cool it.
Speaking of Titans,
You would hear more of that if
potentiality.
potentiality.
If you guys join the Patreon, patreon.com/hyperrpg, join the Hyper Homies tier. We launched a new Titans podcast 3 weeks ago. We're now, well, I guess this is technically week 3. We just released episode 3.
Yep.
Last week we had our buddy Matt Acevedo here who talked about episode 2, but now the OGs are back, bitches. So we're talking about the episode 3, which was, I believe it was called... I forgot.
It's called We're Back,
Ghosts.
Bitches.
I think it's called Ghosts.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And it was a really, really great conversation. I really have enjoyed going week by week and just sort of like absorbing every episode and having an opportunity to think like, okay, what were my favorite moments, my not so favorite moments?
It makes me like the show more to come back and talk about it with you guys.
I agree.
As soon as we're done with our convo, no joke, I go home and I'm like, man, I wish episode 4 was out. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, I wish the next episode was out.
I wish I could dive into that. I wish I could binge this.
Because you watch a show and you process it however you process it, and you kind of I'm sitting with it for a couple hours because I watch it Friday, then we come and record Friday night, and then after we're actually having the out loud discussion, I'm like, yeah, this is how I feel about it. This is how I'm feeling about it's working, or maybe this isn't working, and or Augustine said something that's exactly how I felt, or Adam said something, he nailed it, and then I go home and I'm like, I feel like I have an even better grasp on the show. I'm like, okay, cool, bring it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about that. The idea behind doing these podcasts was that we really want to expand how much content we cover, and doing it on video isn't always an easy task because it's really me editing all the content. So we thought, okay, podcasts, it's easy. We can record it. We can turn it around within an hour of us recording it, so we'll be able to put out a lot more content. The more that the Patreon grows, the more shows we can add to our roster, and we have a lot of shows and a lot of ideas. A lot of ideas that we really would love to do, and that's only going to happen with your guys' support through Patreon. And if you join the $5 tier, you'll have access to Titans, and then from there, a lot of people on Patreon will get sort of the first dibs onto whatever we're doing next. And there's a lot of stuff coming.
There's big ideas.
Yeah.
We won't divulge anything yet, but you're going to want to join.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
You also get early access to episodes of Hyper Heroes.
That's true.
Yeah.
And a lot of other stuff that we do on YouTube and even on Twitch sometimes, So I highly recommend it. Check it out. If you just want to check out the tiers and the goals that we have in place. I've been doing some maintenance and changing some stuff up, so you might see some things changing up soon. But also very excited that I continue the quest of making merch for us. So we're going to be launching shirts very, very soon. You will get the official logo. There might also be some potentiality for some other shirts. So just look forward to that sort of stuff. And if you're on Patreon, you obviously get first dibs. So I believe that's all the housekeeping that I have for this episode. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast, jump over to YouTube or vice versa. I know a lot of people are always like, well, when are you guys going to make a podcast out of this? Like we have for the last 92 episodes. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, pretty much any platform where podcasts are sold.
You know what I was thinking about, guys? I was like, we've made time for this show almost every week for the past 5 years.
I know, dude.
That's a long. That's like the longest besides
our
my relationships. This is like the longest thing I've done for a long time.
I know, man.
It's crazy.
This is my longest relationship.
Yeah, for real.
It is.
I know, it's crazy.
And I started a thing with Keller where I'm like, we're going to do this for 10 years, but I'll have been doing this for longer.
Exactly.
For like 14 years by the time we get to the 10 year
I know,
thing.
it's crazy.
So, wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And, I love the opportunity to come here every single week. Well, I live here, so I just walk downstairs. But to be able to talk about this stuff, because we've been so passionate. And, for years we talked about superheroes and the things that we're passionate about. So now that we get to do it on the internet is really, really cool. And you guys support and love it, and that's
you guys
awesome.
like it, and that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what matters most.
Right.
Thank you for watching.
Speaking of loving something so passionately.
Oh, Adam.
Tom Welling and Erica Durance are coming back for Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I'm so jazzed because I love Smallville.
This paragraph that you pulled up here, I cannot believe it. It's kind of amazing. It's an incredible paragraph, and what a great compliment to the show Smallville from Mark Guggenheim.
Yeah, the producer.
The producer of the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Like the whole kit and caboodle.
The whole thing, basically.
He says, for 8 years, Arrow has stood on the shoulders of Smallville. Simply put, there would be no Arrow and no Arrowverse without it. So when we first started talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths, our first, second, and third priorities were getting Tom to reprise his iconic role as Clark Kent. To say that we're thrilled would be a Superman-sized understatement. That's so nice. Does that fill you with a bunch of warm and fuzzies?
Hell yeah. Man, that show, and I think it's also the timing of that show. That show came out when I was in 8th grade. And I followed that show all the way through my senior year of high school and a little bit into college. And then I fell off the wagon a little bit, and I would watch select episodes. But I did watch pretty much everything that was important all the way up into the series finale.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people have for years now, because the multiverse has been a big part of the DC TV universe for a few years now.
Yeah.
A lot of people had hoped and prayed, and you see it I saw it on Twitter almost all the time. When's Tom Welling going to come back? When? And the fact that they got him, and on top of that, we have Tyler Hoechlin as Superman.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have Brandon Routh as Superman.
And Kevin Conroy.
I forgot about that.
It's little baby Adam's dreams come true.
And Kevin Conroy as an older Bruce Wayne, or just as Bruce Wayne Batman. It is positioning itself. This Crisis on Infinite Earths, I gotta say,
I was expecting this one.
The past few years of crossovers that they'll do once a season for the Arrowverse shows they've been really impressive.
Yeah.
From the first one, which was just the Flash and Arrow crossing over for 2 episodes. That was fun.
That was awesome.
And then when they did it with the CBS show Supergirl, really great crossover there. That came out in 2016, the weekend after Batman versus Superman was in theaters, and people they got sad, and then they saw the Supergirl Flash thing, and they were like, this makes me happy. Each one of these crossovers has always been great, but this Crisis on Infinite Earths.
This is Avengers Endgame.
This is Avengers Endgame. This is they have spared no expense.
Yeah.
They're retroactively making all of these elements part of their multiverse, the same way that they did years ago when they first showed a clip of John Wesley Shipp's Flash show.
Oh my God.
So they retroactively said that one show that lasted a season
90?
in 1990 is retroactively part of our larger thing. So for them to go and pull and be like, and also Smallville.
Yeah.
And also we've got 10 seasons of Smallville.
And also
whatever,
everything else.
That's insane.
So
a
sick.
live action version of Kevin Conroy. And also Brandon Routh's Superman Returns.
Right.
Kind of world is part of our...
I think it's just so dope that he's already in the universe, but they're just like, oh yeah, he's in it again.
As Ray Palmer.
He's
I know.
in it again. Yeah.
Well, and the same thing with Erica Durance. Erica Durance plays Allura Zorel, Supergirl's mother, on Supergirl.
That's right.
And I'll be honest, I have not been following Supergirl
I've seen that.
religiously.
She's good.
So I don't know if the character is still living, like if she's still alive in that universe.
Well, we can solve that right now, Adam.
Google.com/is Allura Zorel still alive?
Let me Google that for you.
But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about this, and I think the most impressive thing from all of these shows is the fact that they took a chance on creating a shared universe on TV. And when we've seen these types of shows before, and even in the movies,
doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work, and they've been really hesitant about it. But I love the fact that Greg Berlanti and that whole team, they just decided
status alive.
Oh yeah. So we could see both potentially. But I really. And I think it's like Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, and Greg Berlanti and his whole team on the TV side for DC. These are things that we are going to be talking about for years to come. Cinematically, it's worked incredibly well for Marvel the way they've done it. And I think for DC TV, regardless of what people think the reception of those shows are or the viewership, the fact that they just do it and they commit to it. And regardless of like how many people watch or whatever people's opinions are about that show, man, every year, big event, crossover.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
And I love that.
They have given comic book fans so much comic book shit.
Yeah, Black Lightning's going to be in it too.
Yes, that they're not getting anywhere else, movies or TV show. Movies or TV. So like again, if you are the type of person that goes, I don't like Supergirl, that's for like a young female audience. I'm not the demographic. That's not for me. Supergirl still has so many comic booky elements a part of that show They have got Lex Luthor now. John Cryer's like full on Lex Luthor now. Like they're which is a callback to Superman 4 Quest for Peace. They've got Martian Manhunter. They've got there's just so many different things that all of those 4 core shows share, along with a little bit of Black Lightning, along with they retroactively gone back and made that 1 season of Constantine a part of their thing, because they're like, well, same actor, so that's part of our thing too. Is
Matt Ryan going to be in this too? I
think because isn't he still in Legends of Tomorrow? I don't know. But here's the thing.
So good.
Here's the thing. It's premiering in December.
Yes.
We know that Erica Durance and Tom Welling are going to be in it. And Alora Zarel, we just found out live, is still alive as far as the recording of this episode.
Yeah.
Crossover is going to reveal what happened to Clark Kent almost 10 years after Smallville.
Because the series finale was in 2011. Whoa. So it's not quite 10, but it's close.
And it is unclear if Welling is going to suit up as Superman or just be Clark Kent. But here's the thing. I have to bring this up. I saw this online. I don't want to bum you out. Have you considered the possibility
for your consideration
that these alternate universes that they're showing are going to be snuffed out as part of that larger Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about the fact that they could show Smallville and then just wipe out that universe?
Why would you do this to me? I thought you were my friend. I love how you were like, oh, God. Oh, God.
Don't hit me, please. Don't hit me.
I'm so sorry. I mean, dude, if they did that to Kevin Conroy's Batman universe or to
Why
Brandon
would they do
Routh's
that,
Superman
that just
Returns
doesn't
universe,
make sense.
They would do it for stakes to show that like the Anti-Monitor is like a fucking evil. It's Avengers Endgame. It's Thanos level.
Yeah.
But would they do that and then not bring them back at the end, Endgame style? Sure. I don't think so. I think they have too much respect for those.
I've never seen an episode of Smallville.
Yeah.
But given Adam's rabid fandom,
and
and the entire fandom that's
please join our
Patreon,
patreon.com/hyperrpg. I will do a Smallville podcast ASAP.
Right.
Go now.
That's
go,
what
go,
I'm
go, go,
talking
go.
about. I don't think, and especially, and also following this statement where they said that this Arrowverse will not exist without Superman.
Right.
If they did do that, I think they wouldn't touch the Smallville universe without bringing it back and restoring it to what it.
Yeah, because I feel
believes.
and it's not to say that this is the case, but if what happens in Crisis on Infinite Earth is sort of like a send off and a thank you and a tip of the hat to Smallville.
Yeah.
I don't know if destroying that universe is like.
Well, it would have to be a much bigger arc because you could destroy it.
Sure.
But you would have to.
Tom Welling would have to be very integrated into like the next arc of this story for me to be like, it's justified.
You know what they might do is they might pull up portals and they might have a moment where the Anti-Monitor is facing down, not only Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin and the heroes, but it's all of a sudden Tom Welling shows up
boom
through
tubes.
a portal, and then like Brandon Routh Superman shows up,
right.
And you just hear like bum, 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 bum. Some people from Krypton are like, hey, we're here too, we're early. We're early, but we're here.
What if they attempt a deep fake at Christopher Reeve's Superman?
Oh, no, I don't want that.
No, I don't want that either.
Oh, man.
I don't want that either. No,
but Gene Hackman is still alive, but I think he's like very retired.
Yeah.
Yes, very.
But I'm really, to be completely honest, and I'm not expecting anyone to watch this with me, I might do like a 4-episode reaction series where it's just me sitting here going,
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
You should
because I will probably lose my potatoes.
Just do a live watch along.
I should. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this.
It's gonna be great.
I think
okay, you have until December to watch every episode of every Arrowverse show.
I know.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I've watched all the crossovers without watching like all the other stuff that's happened, and I don't feel lost at all.
Yeah, you're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, they catch you up. They catch you. They know what they're doing.
Honest, they do a really good job of just kind of updating you on like what's happened.
Right.
And depending on like how much I enjoy some of the crossovers, I'll go back and I'll watch some of the surrounding episodes that sort of build up and like lead off into it. And it's the last season of Arrow. And from what I watched in the last season 7, right before and right after, I actually kind of dug it. Like,
okay,
it's
good.
It's fine. Mm-hmm. I never expected the CW DC shows to be like top level Breaking Bad. I never expected that. I just wanted it to embrace
for what their
the
production
lore of DC.
For what their production schedule is, for what their budgets
the
are,
turnarounds on these things,
the special effects involved. The filming in Vancouver at night.
Yeah.
In the cold,
everything is
like,
at night.
Everybody's killing it. They do a really, really good job. I just
Yeah.
hope that like things are still not the same from when they were when Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum were filming Smallville 10 years ago, because they were like, dude, they were running us through the ringer, and I was young, and I thought it was all normal, and I wish I kind of spoke up more.
Yeah.
You know, and I've heard that they kind of still do the same thing for like the Riverdale kids, that they're just kind of like taking advantage of like, well, you're on a TV show, so you need to be working until 3 a.m. every night
and drive
for
yourself to your
7
hotel
months.
and it's like,
like that kind of
know.
shit where it's like, I hope that the Arrowverse people, I hope that Stephen Amell and everybody under them
I think at
It's
this
getting
point,
taken
yeah.
care of.
and at every level of production too. I hope that everybody's like stoked to work on their shows,
Yeah.
and that it's not, you know, God, we got to keep pumping
The
this
grind.
out. God, my body, I'm so tired. I hope not. I hope it's cool.
I'm just so pumped for this. I cannot wait. I might do a little song and dance. So let's just quickly touch on this.
I have it. Instead
Yes.
of like the Superman theme, he's going to be coming through a portal. Somebody say.
They had it though.
Yeah.
They had it in the last crossover.
Oh, that's right.
When they go to Earth. Oh God, what is it? What Supergirl?
They
Earth
played
38?
that, didn't they?
Yeah, when Tyler Hoechlin and Lois are on the, or Clark and Lois are on the
that's
farm.
right. They
Because
played
it's the same
Somebody.
set from Smallville. Which I'm like, okay,
Right.
cool. But now you actually have Tom Welling and Erica Durant, so you play that theme. And I'm going to be jumping up and down in this living room. It's going to be so dope. I can't wait. So super excited about
That's
that.
cool.
Let's talk about this Birds of Prey poster.
Cool.
I personally feel like it's totally fine.
Yeah.
The internet made such a big freaking
What?
deal out of this thing.
I know why.
You know what? It's for
know why.
everybody.
I mean, I know why too.
Yeah.
For everybody that has followed me on Twitter, thank you. I'm sorry I'm not super duper active, but like I try to stay off of Twitter like as my main social media feed because of stuff like this. Like this initial reaction stuff, I don't even know why. So you guys are going to have to explain why people are upset about this, because there's nothing upsetting about this.
They're upset because it's colorful and it's female centric. They're upset because it is
it took
not
every
real.
It
It's
took every
clearly
ounce of
photoshopped.
strength right now to
Yeah.
not throw this glass through that window. Just like when I threw that candy when Adam didn't watch Coco.
It is also they're upset. Look, and I cannot speak for everybody.
Sure.
If you look at this poster and you go, I don't like it, totally fair. That's fine.
I don't like the composition.
Not everything
Okay.
is for everybody, but some of the stuff that I've seen, the sort of people that the reactions that have been memified.
Right.
And people are pointing this out and being like, there's a problem in comic book fandom still. It's it comes down to stuff like gatekeeping, and if something is female centric, people will be like, what? That's not. And it's like, okay, you
That's not what I thought,
obviously
but-
don't know what this is based off of or
Right.
whatever. And then the thing is, you're zoomed in right now. It's not real. There's not actually little miniature people floating around Margot
Clearly.
Robbie,
Yeah.
herself included. It's super photoshopped.
Right.
It is an aesthetic choice, and some people don't. I saw some people didn't like that. Here's the deal, though.
Yeah.
I had a couple reactions myself to this poster. I saw it first, and I was like, cool. And then I looked at it again, and I was like, it's a little like could be more for me. Like it seemed a kind of sort of basic. I'm like, I don't know if I. And then I saw something on Twitter. I saw something from Jimmy Palmiotti, who is a writer of a bunch of Harley Quinn stuff.
Yeah.
With Amanda Connor as the artist, and has done. Like their team has defined a lot of what modern Harley Quinn is. And he was like, this movie looks like a blast, and retweeted an image of a cover of a story that he worked on side by side to the poster, right? Here's the poster, and then here's the cover.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is so comic booky.
Here's the problem.
It's full-blown comic booky.
Yeah.
It's Harley-centric. It's Harley-specific. Like, it's basically the same exact thing, same color scheme almost.
I think the thing that people miss is like, a lot of times I feel like people take these things too literally. The poster is saying something about the psychology and the mental state of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
It's an insight into her,
Hell no, bro.
view.
What are you talking about?
I know, it's not.
There's little floaty characters all the
Little
time.
floaties. I don't want to watch
that
Victor
aren't
Zsaz all
in the
floaty.
shadows.
Yeah.
People literally complain about, the crazy psycho killer Victor Zsaz with all the cuts. Yeah, now he's got this like cute button-up shirt and wings. And I'm
It's a
like,
great outfit.
oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
Black mask. He's supposed to have this crazy-looking mask and black suit, and now he's got this like really flamboyant white suit. And I'm like,
What you need to do.
Hey, listen, man, Superman was supposed to have chonies, I didn't see a whole
For all
bunch of
those people that are upset, what you need to do, Adam, is provide the link that I provided to you guys that Teen Titans Go episode where people who hate this are going to love that episode. So please go and watch that clip of the Teen Titans Go getting really serious, because that's for you. That's what you're looking for, because this poster ain't that.
Ain't that. What I like about this poster is that it is a focus on Margot Robbie. Yeah. That she's the lead of this movie, and I'm really excited about that because I love her as an actor, and I obviously love the character of Harley Quinn. Yeah, and I thought she was pitch perfect in Suicide Squad as this character.
Harley Quinn, yes.
So the fact that it's this big facial expression of hers where it is it's like wide-eyed, it's cute, it's funny, it's cartoony.
Also psychotic and terrifying at the same time.
It reminds me of
It's got all those layers.
It reminds me of Deadpool. When Deadpool got hit in the head with a sword, like all this stuff started happening. This is that. Like there's something happening. It's trying to tell you more than literally Zsaz is gonna wear a nice button up with nice loafers and fitted jeans. You know, like
but even if he does, who fucking cares?
Right, exactly.
I'm not here for what they're wearing. I'm here I appreciate it and I like the costume design, but I'm here for the story. That's what I care about. I care about the story.
Black Canary, Cassandra Cain.
I'm just going to say it. I don't give a language. The comments are going to turn into a hot shit mess. There are a lot of Snyder fans out there that I just don't understand their mentality.
I get it.
They only like the visual aesthetic of Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman.
Sure.
And anything else that doesn't look like that, they hate it and they poo-poo on it, and I don't understand why.
I think because
the universe doesn't all have to look exactly the same. It's a vast, expansive universe.
I think because movies like that and movies like Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, and the Dark Knight trilogy is they're great movies, but I think that they have pushed this idea of the best, the most acceptable, the highest quality comic book based movie is it kaiju? What is it? Is it a kaiju stare down? I don't even know what's
I'm just
happening.
not touching this subject.
Oh, I see. I thought you were
and
staring
I will say,
at kaiju.
It's not all. Because I have Snyder fans who follow me on social media.
Sure.
They are really cool people. They're super nice. And they agree to disagree with my points.
You know what my favorite type of
DC
movie fan is? Are the ones that loved those first few ones in the DC Films franchise, and they're still into Shazam, Aquaman. They cannot wait for Wonder Woman 84. They're rooting for the whole thing.
Yes.
Not just necessarily
not just
for
two movies.
Yeah, or for what they consider to be their team. But again, I think it goes back to a lot of superhero movies, and not just those two in the first part of this franchise, but like I said, the Christopher Nolan films, elements of the MCU. Like I know a lot of people that are, especially like a lot of like young dudes that are like Captain America: Winter Soldier is the best movie, and that's it. And I'm like, it's in a lot of ways certainly their most serious. Like it's definitely the most sort of like grounded, but that doesn't equate to, if I say Guardians of the Galaxy is their best movie, that first one, people, they're a lot of that same fan in that Venn diagram will be like, no, it's not, because there's a dance off at the end, and I'm like, okay, this is not going to happen. All right, I'm going to move on from over here. But the idea that the only good comic book based thing is a serious, dark, rated R, adult, violent,
this
gritty
could
take
be
on
rated
it.
R, as far as we don't
has
know.
It been rated
no,
yet? This film is not yet rated.
Yeah, not yet.
But
I don't think.
Do you know what I mean? And that is also coupled with the aesthetic. That's what that is. That's what that's tied into. So when something like this comes out, it's like it's obviously not that. So yeah. I think we can be done talking about it.
And I'm back. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, man, how's your vacation?
You know what? That was a nice little break. I'm tired. I gave blood today, and I started getting woozy, so I just shut up.
Good for you,
I just
man.
shut up because
just checked out.
I don't.
Hey, man, it's cool. I already took the heat for having an offhanded comment that no one contextualized, so it's fine.
Do you remember how people ripped into me when I said the Suicide Squad trailer didn't look great?
Yes.
Dude.
I know.
Just going to leave it at that.
Remember when you said Ant-Man trailer didn't look great?
Yes.
And I was like, I know, but hang on.
Right.
Hang on. And then like a later trailer came out and you were like, okay, I'm into this.
Yes.
And then the movie
when
came
Thomas
out,
the Tank Engine fucking knocked them off
that
the
made me laugh very hard.
Opinions.
Anyways.
No one can handle them.
Anyways, yeah.
We're going to take a little bit of a shift here. We're going to talk about something that I'm very passionate about. These two might not be, but both of you.
No, I'm interested in this, actually.
I'm joking. Jamie Lee Curtis teased what's going to be going on in the follow-up to Halloween 2018. She was at the Saturn Award. She won an award for Best Performance, or I can't remember if it's Best or some kind of icon.
Some legend icon
I can't remember
thing?
exactly what the award was, but she won for Halloween.
Cool.
So she was interviewed on the red carpet by John Roca from Collider, who's a friend of the show.
Awesome.
And she talked about sort of what we can expect from Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, which are the two movies that they're not shooting exactly back to back, but they're shooting Halloween Kills right now. They just started, I think they're on day 4.
Okay.
And then when this wraps up, they're going to have a little bit of a break, and then they're going to go shoot Halloween Ends.
Wow.
The second film, which is going to come out October of next year, is going to have Kyle Richards back as, oh my God, Lindsay Wallace, and Anthony Michael Hall will be playing.
That's
I will say, I
Ding-dong.
wish Paul Rudd was playing Tommy Doyle because he played in Halloween 6.
What?
That's Paul Rudd's first role. Was Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
That would have been awesome.
So that would have been really cool.
Oh, he should have done that.
I know, but it's different continuity. That's why.
Okay.
So the second movie,
You have a whole YouTube video explaining the thing. Yeah.
probably, hopefully, gets into the
timelines,
500,000
No,
views.
Remember, because
Yeah,
your video's
I know,
doing good,
I know,
right?
it did really,
Okay.
really well.
Anyway, keep going.
So Halloween Kills, the idea and the premise behind that movie is that it's going to take the events from 1978, bringing back these two characters in particular, and it's going to continue to sort of unpack and those events and show us the trauma that those two characters went through along with Laurie. Laurie was 17. Those kids were maybe like 7 or 8 years, or maybe like 8 to 10 years old. They were very, very young.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see what the characters that were also involved with the murders and the massacre of Michael Myers to go into sort of the trauma and
Of the aftermath.
yeah. And to explore it in a slightly different way than Laurie, because Laurie was a little older.
Right.
So you're going to go through that trauma differently. Also, she was directly attacked by Michael Myers.
And can I ask a question? Has there been any comparisons to Dexter? Because I haven't read any of the books.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that TV show is based on books, I think. But I saw the first few seasons of Dexter, and that had a character, the main character, who witnessed a murder when he was like a baby, and he was like present. And then what the show said was like, because he witnessed it as a baby, he then grew up to become a serial killer himself, and it messed him up. So is there any have they talked about maybe Lindsay and Tommy are like
no, they
gonna
have
be evil themselves?
That's something they have not talked about, but I think that's something that I think could be really interesting if they explored, especially I think that's an avenue that if you went down, and I think that's, to me, I think it's very plausible that something like that could happen. To be exposed to something like that at such a young age, being so terrified and so scared by this, and especially Michael Myers, it's a very terrifying figure.
Oh yeah,
just a white blank face coming at you through the shadows. And to go through that, what does that do to an 8-year-old, and how does that affect you 40 years later?
Yeah.
Are you still living with that trauma? Have you moved on? Have you found a way to sort of suppress those events and just go on with your life, or is that something that's just eating into you like it did Laurie for 40 years?
Right.
And I think that's going to be the interesting thing to see how all three of these characters have lived very different lives and how the events have affected them in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So what's Halloween Ends going to be
Halloween
about?
Ends, to me, which I'm like, okay, it's a little bit more of a broad sort of synopsis or explanation of what the movie's going to be, but she says that it concludes the 4-film story that started in 1978, and she promises that it'll be a powerful examination of the power and cultural phenomenon of violence.
Interesting.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
And the thing I love about Jamie Lee Curtis, the way she talks about these new Halloween movies, is she seems to really, really believe in Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, which you obviously have to believe in if you're going to come back and you're going to do this, especially after she was burned with Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
And it seems like she has full 100% faith in the story that they're trying to tell, and she seems really enthusiastic about the movies having something to say other than just being movies about a mass killer.
Gory slasher movie.
It's not
which Halloween
just-
1 never really was.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Are you stoked?
Of course he's stoked.
The video.
Have you seen all of his latest Instagram pictures?
Yeah.
They've all been at the Halloween house.
Look, we live really close to Pasadena, and I go there every year to go to the Michael Myers house to take photos. It's my favorite.
We should go trick-or-treating in that neighborhood.
No thanks.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should actually go see Halloween at the outdoor cinema again.
Well, have you seen that they're doing Phantasmagram? They're doing
October 11th is Halloween.
Really cool thing that Street Food Cinema is doing.
Yeah.
Except all of the month of October, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're doing horror movies.
Cool.
The theater is supposed to be haunted. And
Okay, pass.
So it's going to look and feel like a lot of the Hollywood Tower of Terror before they took it down.
Right. Cool,
So it's going to be very creepy, very
Sure,
like
pass.
of the era.
I got
think
a
we
3D
should go.
TV. I'm not
I
leaving.
think we should
home.
go at least once.
Nope.
Check it out
Let's go
because
see Halloween.
there's
I
going to
prefer
be like
the Guardians of the Galaxy ride to the Hollywood
haunted
Tower
bell
of Terror.
hops. There's going to be, you never know. You might see a ghost and not even know it. So
Does it feel like this room's actually stretching?
That's
What's
cool.
your favorite?
That's cool though.
so they're going to show that there.
Yeah.
And they're going to end with It Chapter 1.
Yes.
But they're going to show
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, they're doing
a
it.
bunch
They're doing
of
it
stuff.
throughout the entire month of
Yeah.
October, which looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right.
At the $1 Million Theater downtown LA.
Come on, Hector.
Cool.
That theater's really dope, actually. They're going to hold theater tours through the back of the theater too, so you can really see where all the bodies and ghosts were hanging before.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, that'd be cool. I'd do that. That'd be fun. Just to go and just mess with people.
Did you
mess
guys
with
see Halloween 2018?
No,
Yeah, we all went to go see it together.
Did we
didn't
go
no,
together?
2018.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, last year.
No,
The new
we went-
Halloween movie. Jamie Lee
But
Curtis.
did you end up seeing
I
it?
didn't end up seeing it.
Oh,
I
you
still
didn't?
haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought we all went
No.
together.
No.
I haven't
You
seen
and I
it.
went together. No.
No,
Yeah,
we
we
went.
did, didn't
we
we?
went to go see Halloween at Street Food Cinema.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but we didn't go see the new one yet. And I know you put a review out of it, but I don't remember what your consensus was.
So there's a lot about that movie that I really, really liked. I liked the fact that the movie first and foremost deals with the trauma of the murders of 1978, 40 years later.
Right.
I think that's an interesting and a unique way to go back into the story, to bring Laurie Strode back, and really a good reason to reboot, or it's not a reboot, to just continue on the story
Right.
of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode.
Right, yeah.
There's some stuff in there that didn't work for me. I think the element of like having podcasters wanting to interview, like some of it tried to be a little too modern, where I'm
Okay.
like, you could have just made it a documentary crew
Right,
or
right,
something that 40 years later is trying to extract more about Laurie
Was it
Strode.
enough to take you out of the movie?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. There's something to be said about the way movies are made today that just didn't exist 40 years ago.
Yeah.
The low budgetness and the real sort of like guerrilla filmmaking of Halloween and the lack of resources that they had. The movie is not polished in this. Like, they didn't have the most money for like lighting and all this
Right.
fancy shit.
Right.
But I think that adds so much character
That
to the movie.
does add a character. to
Whereas
it.
with like Halloween 2018, they definitely strip a lot of that stuff out, but it still has this like gloss to it that I'm like,
Yeah.
you could have made it look a little shittier visually in terms
Which
of
you
like,
don't often say.
yeah, which is, and I mean
Yeah.
that in the terms of like, not everything has to be like beautifully lit. and
Right,
all.
right,
Like
right,
I think
right.
Carpenter and Dean Cundy were able to make it work in the first one with
Yeah.
very limited resources.
And that was part of the charm.
That was part of the charm
Yeah,
of the movie.
yeah.
But I think overall, like, it is the best sequel.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
And I love what they did with Laurie, with her daughter, with her granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see, cool, how are we progressing forward?
Right.
What is Laurie now going to be after? How is she going to be after going through this again?
Yeah,
How's
yeah.
this now going to affect her daughter and her granddaughter? And now that we're bringing, Lindsay and Tommy back into the mix, is this going to be like a 5 versus 1 thing? Or is it just going to be Michael Myers going after different people? There's a lot of things that I'm really interested to see them explore.
Interesting.
How did you feel about it?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I'm not as much of a fan of the Halloween franchise as a whole as you
Sure.
are, but I also felt like of the sequel that I have seen, I've only seen Halloween 2, I think.
The original Halloween 2.
I
Yeah,
think.
you and I
don't think
watched
I've
it
seen,
with Keller.
I haven't seen Season of the Witch. I haven't seen
Well, and this is the
H2O.
interesting thing
Yeah.
about Season of the Witch, which I'm sure you probably know.
Yeah,
Halloween
it's
was
not-
originally
yeah.
built as an anthology series.
Correct.
So it's they have really weird timelines.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd
But
be
I really
curious
liked it.
for you to actually see not all of them, but maybe a
Yeah.
couple of them.
I'd watch them all.
Yeah.
I'd watch them all, especially before this new one comes out. Is this one coming out next year?
Yes.
And then the one after that, Halloween after that? Mm-hmm. I'm down, dude. By next year, I'll have seen every Halloween movie. And
Okay.
Then and then I'll
yeah.
do like
That's a good-
I'll
that's
do
a
like
good
a
timeline.
Hector ranking. There you go.
All right.
I'll do that. I'll do
You've
that.
seen the original.
I've seen
Yeah.
the original. The
Yeah.
original was great.
Yeah.
It never fails to disappoint. Like, it ages like fine
Yes,
wine.
it
That
really
movie-
does.
That movie's just phenomenal.
Not
all the
gonna
way
lie.
around.
Emily and I made burgers last week, and I definitely threw on Halloween.
Nice.
And I'm like, this is probably my first of like 4 rewatches
Yeah.
of the year.
I thought you were about to say, I'm not going to lie, Emily and I made out during the movie.
Yeah.
And then we got
we're
murdered.
psychopaths.
And then,
yeah.
and then we murdered somebody.
What?
Yeah. No, Adam's just being cute. Adam's just being cute.
Yeah.
You're having such an Adam episode, Superman and Halloween.
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
he
This is an
writes it,
Adam
so-
I write the show, so
Yeah.
This is an Adam.
I can toot my own horn, I guess. I don't know.
Episode.
So we're going to watch a couple trailers, or a couple videos, I guess I
Yeah.
should say. The first one is for a new Netflix series coming out October 4th called Raising Dion. It's executive produced and stars Michael B. Jordan. It is
Right.
based on a comic book,
Uh-huh.
an independent comic book that I was not aware existed, but now I want to go read the whole damn
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
It's from Dennis Liu, who also co-directed the series, and he actually made an original short film that is on YouTube, on his YouTube channel, and it gives you sort of an idea. And the synopsis from Netflix versus the YouTube are very, very different.
Yeah.
The original synopsis from YouTube says, imagine Superman, but from Martha Kent's point of view. Or imagine Spider-Man, but from Aunt May's point of view.
Right.
This is a superhero story, but from the parents' point of view.
Right.
But unlike her son, she doesn't have any powers. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a new spin. We've had Brightburn, but Brightburn was very much still, I feel like
Horror
mostly
movie.
from the perspective of the kid.
And
It's
I
a
feel
horror
like,
movie,
guys,
yeah.
the
A
three of
horror
us have
movie,
seen
yes.
this trailer for either the comic book or the short film.
Yeah, I remember the
years
short
ago,
film
because it
years
was
ago.
it was a black woman and her kid, and the kid was doing stuff, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Dion, no!" And it was shot kind of like
Right.
Chronicle
Right.
or
Yes.
like
Right.
like handheld type like found footage
Yeah.
type thing, and it looked so cool. And we were
Yeah.
like, "This should be a movie," because
Right.
it was like a trailer that I think the guy made to promote the comic.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that Netflix picked it up, and they're like, "Okay, except now instead of a mom, it'll be dad, and it's
Right.
Michael B. Jordan, and here you go." I haven't seen this trailer yet.
I haven't either.
If fun fact, our good friend Crisanta Melendez, she's VFX producer on this
Oh, no way.
at Netflix right now. So she's
Whoa.
posting a lot
Cool.
about it on her stream.
Hell yeah.
So if it does, if we want to get her in here,
Yeah,
That'd be
we
cool.
we can
should.
get her in here to talk about
let's
it.
do it.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Potentiality
Potentiality.
podcast.
Friends.
Play.
Your dad was traveling so much that year that he made me this video.
How's Dion doing?
Now I
miss
feel
my
like
little man.
this is going to be a sequel
I'm
to
telling you,
Chronicle.
Nicole, that kid is something special.
A Netflix original series.
You're such a special kid. You're charming, smart,
This kid is cute.
very handsome.
Because like the most attractive people in the world made him. This
Yeah.
is great.
Pat said you were asking about your dad.
My mom won't tell me what happened. Just says it was a storm.
Oh. Did he get spirited away?
Mister, I've got your doll! Dad!
Whoa.
Oh, he teleported.
Oh, damn.
Cool.
Something is happening with Dion. We should figure out how to get it under control.
How long do you think you can keep this up? The government is tracking people who got superpowers.
I know a
Cool.
few things about Dion.
Whoa, what the hell?
That looked like
The
an evil
storms
government
are drawn
thing.
to your son. Where is my son? Ma'am, where is my son?
Oh. Whoa.
It's you and me. You and me.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like a kind of a scary like family movie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Kind
mean?
of.
It didn't look too much like it was pushing it
Yeah.
For
too
sure.
far, but it looked really good. And I'm happy to report too that I remember the original comic book and the original trailer thing that we saw.
Right.
It was a woman, mother and son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with Michael B. Jordan's name all over the thing, I thought they were
Right.
I thought it was gonna be dad
Oh, a
and son.
swapperoo?
Right.
So now it's dad is missing, kind of
Yeah.
like Wrinkle in Time, which is pretty cool. I like
I
Wrinkle
did
in
not see
Time.
that, so.
You guys should come over and watch it. I wish it came out in 3D, but they never even released it on Blu-ray in 3D.
Aw.
Come on, Ava DuVernay, why?
Why you do this?
You like
Don't
to, you
even,
like to, you
don't
like
even
to,
ask that question because you're gonna get disappointed, Hector.
God.
If you hear Anna
Disney. Come on.
Anna DuVernay.
Yeah.
If you hear Ava DuVernay talk shit about 3D, you're gonna be really
I'm gonna
upset.
be real sad. I'm gonna be real
Yeah,
sad. No, I
exactly.
know.
So don't
I know.
even ask.
I don't
Don't
want
even
to.
ask.
Don't even go down that rabbit
She'll
hole.
be like, I don't like it. But,
Yeah.
but then I'll be like,
She's
but it
like,
was,
Hector, you're dumb. I don't
was,
like it.
It was good in
You
theaters.
got
oh,
2D.
man. Oh no, no, don't do it. I want to see Big Barda in 3D. No, I want to see Orion in 3D. Don't do that. Oh, that would suck.
That would.
All right.
The-
Are we going to
but
watch
what
this
didn't suck
thing?
was that trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
Is it just me, or does the backpack look like it had like stickers or some design on it? They look like infinity gems. Was it just me?
Oh yeah, maybe
A little bit. I'm like,
I
oh,
didn't-
little
I didn't
homage
see
there
it,
to
but-
Michael
Look,
Jordan.
man, it's
Black
pulling
Panther.
imagery of like.
Wow, I just
the
thought it was like it's a
MCU.
cool homage to like Black or
For
Black
sure,
Panther. You know,
for sure. It's. I mean, it would be cool if they put a joke in there too.
Right.
It looked like it was pulling some imagery from like Tomorrowland with like
Right.
the secret government people
Yeah.
that are chasing down
Right.
more than you should. It was reminding me of like, remember that scene in the first Ang Lee Hulk movie where
Yeah,
Nick
where he's
Nolte-
fighting the elemental
yeah,
things.
Yeah, that was Nick Nolte
Yeah.
like fighting him in the
Oh,
clouds. Like
yeah.
Hulk was fighting a cloud. Like
forgot
that
about
was
that movie.
yeah, me too.
Or
We
that
should watch
sequence,
that.
I
believe Hulk
We should
was
watch that
fighting
again.
We should.
Yeah.
No,
After
but
he fought the dogs.
Yeah.
That's a cool
oh my
movie.
God.
That's a snooze fest for
Let's watch it
sure.
again. What if we like it
Dude.
way more now? What if we watch it as adult men
You know,
in our
Ang
30s
Lee
and we're
did
like,
the motion capture for Hulk.
yeah, I did know that.
You can't beat Ruffalo, dude.
That's
Ruffalo
true. That's
is
true. I didn't say that, but
tough dog.
I have
Ruffalo hasn't fought dogs and a
and a
cloud.
cloud.
Yeah.
And sand.
I think it's
Beat that.
gratuitous.
Beat
Yeah.
that. He hasn't fought a tank yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
I heard Gemini Man was pretty good though. I heard the
I'd watch
3D
that.
is spectacular.
Of course, 'cause it's Ang Lee.
So 100% going to see that bad boy in 3D.
Ooh.
But what I will say about this show is,
Yeah.
like you were saying, I like the fact that it's Michael B. Jordan executive producing and starring, because it's a great way to get people
Yes.
to
Yeah,
come in
But
and
he's
watch
not
it.
the star.
Right.
Right.
It's about the kid playing
It's like,
Dione.
hey, I'm here to
about
set
the-
it up, and
Yes.
then it's someone else's.
I
People
love
are going to
it.
watch
That's
his
cool.
handsome face for like 10 minutes, and then it's
Yeah.
going to be about the kid and his mom.
Love
It's
it.
gonna be good.
Yeah.
But guys, let us know in the comments below what you thought about everything that we talked about. And are you part of the Patreon? If not, go to patreon.com/hyperrpg. Check out our Titans podcast and experience the potentiality of what might happen very soon. In the meantime, hit us up on social media. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.